everybody, this is Harley Bardley back again today with another episode of Long Live the Queen. We're still doing our military run, folks, and still hoping we can turn our little Elodie into a warrior queen that survives the game. So when we last left off, we had boosted our naval strategy through the roof, we had tapped out logistics, and we'd gotten fairly high on swords as well. So we don't have much military stuff to learn left, but we also have quite a bit of history that we probably need to catch up on if we want to beat the Sanjian army in the end. Or navy, I should say. Alright, so we left off at the tournament right before it begins, so let's start there. This is the week of the general tournament. Nobles and commoners alike have turned out to compete against each other. The people will be pleased if you participate in their games, however it would expose you to danger. What event do you wish to take part in? Our reflexes aren't that high, but our fencing skill, our sword skills are pretty high. Let's give it a shot anyway. Here the devotees of the blade can challenge each other to duels, fought only for points, not blood and honor. Our swords were a success. You win your first match to uproarious applause, but as soon are overpowered by more experienced competitors. Still, you did very well for your first tournament. All the winners are announced and displayed to their great cheers. As near queen, you place flower garlands around their necks. Uh-oh. All of a sudden, a man approaches the winner's platform. It's Kevin, the Earl of Io. Oh, not this guy again. In one hand, he carries an armored gauntlet, and the other a sword. My family's blood is on your hands? What is he talking about? He casts the metal glove to the ground with a clatter and raises his sword, pointing it at you. I challenge you, Elodie. A life for a life. He's challenging you to a duel? Wait, who died? Accept or refuse? I'm gonna take just a quick moment here to save. I'm gonna save right here. Saving, just in case. Because if we fight him and we don't win, I'm gonna have to start this back over because chances are, with Mr. Angry Issues over here, he's gonna kill us. So let's accept. One angry. Very well. I will meet your challenge. As a challenge party, you have the choice of weapons. We'll go with swords. Bring me my sword. The crowd seems not to realize at first that this is a blood match and not entertainment. Or perhaps they do, and their cheering is all the louder for it. Kevin's rage fills him with great strength, but makes him erratic and unpredictable. Worse, he's armored, and he seems willing to settle for nothing less than your death or his. Uh-oh, athletics failed. Unfortunately, your exertions in the tournament have drained your strength. You can barely keep your guard up. Before you begin to work out some way to safely forfeit, you have fallen. Uh-oh, it looks like we've gotten another death during this series. How unfortunate. Well, at least it's a new one, so I get an achievement for that. And I'm glad I saved. Elodie did not survive to reach her coronation. Nova would have to go on without her. Alright, so let's go back to load game, and this time... Yes. Oops, I loaded the wrong one. We load this one. So we're gonna refuse this duel this time and see what happens. On the willful, I'm not going to fight you just because you want me to. Unfortunately, it seems he isn't interested in your refusal and charges at you anyway. Reflexes running failed, falcons failed. The last thing you think is, but that's not fair. And we died again. Oh goodness. Alright, so this time I'm gonna load back a little bit further to the start of the tournament. And this time, we're not going to take place in anything and see if that works. I guess I'll just watch from my tower. After the tournament, a minor tragedy is revealed. One of the stewards apparently had an incredible sweet tooth and dared steal a piece of your recently received chocolates. He had a sweet tooth. The chocolates were poisoned. So they actually were poisoned in the last playthrough, so we're lucky we didn't die. When you ask questions, it turns out the merchant house which supposedly sent you this present never existed. One too afraid. Someone has tried to kill you, but you don't know who. At least we managed to survive not getting killed by Kevin. So next time, I guess if we want to participate in the tournament, we're going to have our reflexes and our other athletics sky high. So let's go back to Wanda Willful and Angry. So at least we survived, guys. Ooh, I might want to actually save there. Yes. Okay. So I'm glad we survived that. Yay. And we survived being poisoned too. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. So we have a bonus to intrigue right now. Let's keep that up. Let's go ahead and finish out our strategy for now, and then we can go back to intrigue. You study the power of ranged weapons, from ours to thrown fire and sand, and how the threat of such attacks can shift the enemy's response. You study the use of cavalry in battle, as well as the costs and benefits of traveling with large animals. You study the effects of a strong hierarchy on military organization, and the ability of troops to respond to changing situations. Communication across an army can be difficult. Disrupted signals can lead to chaos. You study famous battles, the disasters and mistakes which created them, and the turning points in larger conflicts and why they made a difference. You study the concept of defeat in detail, and how an army can be destroyed by crushing small parts at one time rather than attacking it all at once. So, we've maxed out all of our military skills. Woo! My lady, your father wishes to speak with you. He says it's urgent. Fine, I'm coming. And we maxed out our military just in time for the Sanjian stuff. Let's recruit some soldiers. Let's direct the fleet this time. The risk is mine to take. You have your mother's heart. Do your best, Nova will survive. And apparently we got to check our battalion strength too, which I didn't do exactly. Whoops. Well, I think maybe we should work on our athletics, maybe? Yeah, let's do maybe climbing and swimming. Let's do swimming, because we will probably need that if we're gonna go on a boat. You get comfortable in the water, splashing around and holding your breath to go under. You practice walking and hopping through the shallows, feeling the difference in resistance that the water applies to your movement. Danger on the high seas! Ships close in on each other, angling into range. Uh-oh, climbing failed. You take your position with a spyglass, watching the enemy movements closely and shouting out any necessary changes in plan. The Sanjians have half as many troops as you do. It doesn't look promising. The eventual outcome, willed magic failed. It's not in your favor. Oh no! The Novan ships are sunk or scattered, and the Sanjian forces press toward landfall. Naval strategy success. Your grasp of strategy allows you to recognize when the tipping point has passed, and order your remaining vessels to retreat before they are all destroyed. This saves lives, but it means leaving the Novan approach completely unguarded. Many good soldiers were lost today, and Nova's troubles have not ended. Since you have failed to repel the invasion, the Sanjian fleet will soon land, and their troops will begin the process to progress toward your capital city. Your remaining soldiers will hold them off as long as possible, of course, but the main strength of your military has been exhausted. Nova's future looks bleak. Uh-oh. One the lonely, one too afraid. No, I made her lonely instead of what I needed her to be. That's not good. I guess there's not much else we can do, except maybe keep our composure. Let's do the outfit for conversation. Or no, we need the one for royal demeanor. There we go, our cornet. Okay, so we're gonna do our composure. And oh goodness. Reflexes? I don't know how that's gonna help us any. Your teacher gathers up some of the castle staff to shout insults at you, while you practice staying calm and not bursting into laughter. Your teacher instructs you in a game of cards, teaching you to bluff with a straight face. Your teacher walks around you, prodding a finger at you slowly in order to train you in blocking those touches without triggering fear or faster breathing. Uh-oh. And Togami's here. Composure. You yearn to slap the false sympathy off his oily face, but you force yourself to remain calm. Uh-oh, we don't even have our Novan crystal, so how's this gonna go? It is well known that Nova is ruled by lumens. As it happens, I too possess the powers of a lumen. But I'm not a lumen. Saving it for the coronation, were you? Such a pity that you'll be unprepared. Well then, go and find your crystal. Becoming a lumen is a very simple matter. Then we can have our duel. What's the point? You know I can't win. Why don't you just kill me now? Because that's not the game. You want to save your people, don't you? I want to fight a lumen. If you refuse, then the war will continue. I'll sweeten the deal. If you can meet me in a formal lumen challenge, I'll call off the invasion even if I win. Really? I swear it, by the gods. Nova will be free and safe. Why take that risk? You're winning the war. It's not your land I want, it's your crystal. I don't like this, but what choice do I have? Okay, well, we have a couple choices here, so we never did the marriage alliance thing. So why don't we save the game right there? Because it didn't seem like our war stuff went out, so why don't we try that? What if I marry you instead? What if I marry you instead? He's already married. And everything I have is yours as well. Silly little girl, I already told you, your land isn't what I want. Isn't what matters to me. I already have a wife, a woman far riper than you. Accept his terms. Then I must. No, not my little girl. You want to fight the Lumen ruler of Nova? Oh boy. Your father reaches into his pocket and pulls out a shimmering blue crystal, which he places over his heart. Illuminate. Your hair stands on end as a veil of blue sparkles settle over your father, crawling into his skin. When it's over, the jewel has been absorbed into his body without a trace. Fight me. Leave her alone. Well, this is not what I expected, but it will serve my purposes just as well. Daddy? Be quiet, Elodie. You are not a queen yet. You are forced to sit and watch as the two men work out the details of the duel and its stakes, then take their places in a carefully warded circle. Your father crosses his arms, summoning up thick gray fog that swirls around him, hiding him from view. But the Sanjian king conjures a cloud of glowing butterflies which drive into the fog and blow it apart. Then the invader claps his hands together and chants. Fiery red lights cluster over his fingertips and merge together into a pulsing blob before erupting towards your father. He resists with a beam of blue, catching the infernal energy and pushing it back into Togami's direction. You knew what the outcome would be. You knew it all along. Togami is a trained lumen eager to demonstrate his powers. And your father was your father, 10 to the depressed. The blue crystal reappears, lying beside your father's body like an innocently discarded bauble, but now that color blue is colored by a faint wash of red. The smirking king of Sanjia sweeps the crystal off the floor and tucks it away into his robes. How fitting. First I end your mother's life, then your father's. He killed Elodie's mom. Oh, this jerk. I'm so glad I killed him in that other playthrough. You what? You didn't think her death was an accident, did you? That took careful planning. And now the Novan power is mine. And you even get to live. He holds out a hand in front of him. the elegant robe dangling freely. Now kneel and kiss my hand. Compose your success. You stare at that horrible hand hovering before you. You have a choice. Obey, attack him, or stare him down. Let's save the game. Save the game. Attack him. Never, not in 1,000 years. With a scream, you launch yourself at the Sanjian king, prepared to go down fighting. Of course, it only takes a touch of his magic to end your life. Bleh. Okay, well, let's stare him down. That was not our bargain. You are a cold one, aren't you? Very well. Have your little victory. You have so few of them, after all. Well, as I promised, the invasion will end, and my men and I will return across the sea. Unless one of you is so foolish as to attack me. Finalders are off. No one stirs. Oh boy. What a video this has been. Well, we know what happened to Elodie's mother now, or at least who was responsible for her death. And it's probably a good idea to end this video here too, folks. Sorry it got so depressing. Well, at least maybe she'll make it to Queen. Well, in the next video, we'll see the end of this through, and then I'll go back and see what it'll be like if I switch the stats up a little bit and make our climbing higher so we can possibly win a naval war. So, anyway, if you like this video and subscribe, please hit those buttons. And don't forget the notification bell. You gotta click that to get some more videos like this as soon as they come out. Anyway, this has been Harley Bardley, signing out.